Certification of open meeting law requirements have been met. This was posted and it was on the web. Roll call of members. Nutter here.
Yelazinski here.
Petrick here. Adams here.
Becker here.
Okay. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Has everybody had a chance to read the minutes from our last meeting? Is there a motion to approve those?
Motion to approve. All second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. I'm gonna toss this off to Mr. Carlson. Economic Development Tourism Manager Activity Report.
Oh my gosh, we're down there already, huh? Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Well, it's been a busy month. As Jeannie knows, because she was there, we had our Economic Development 101 on Thursday last week in Arcadia at Riverland Energy. We had, oh boy, I should have brought the sheet down with me, but City of Galesville, City of Osseo, City of Arcadia were represented, as were Village of Oliva, Village of Strum, Town of Trempealeau, and Town of Gale. All total, we had, I think 16 or 17 local elected officials that came. So it was a very good presentation. Buzz was also there from PTED. Feedback was really good on it, you know, and had several people asking, when are we doing this again? And I think we will definitely look at doing something like this again. Mike and I talked post-event, and I do think that we have the capacity to do this on our own in the future. But it was really nice to get an outside perspective in and get some outside ideas. So we'll see. We may do some kind of a hybrid model where we, you know, have some outside assistance in it. But the content, you know, is kind of like one of the presenters said, it's kind of like drinking water from a fire hose. There's a lot of information crammed into about 3 hours. But I do have that PowerPoint presentation also that they used, and I will send that out to the committee. You know, I think it's enough that you can get some ideas from it. It's not everything, but they did share the PowerPoint with. So let me see. Also, in the last month, I did attend a meeting up in Osseo that was put together by the Osseo Area Development Corporation. And, I forget the name of it, but it's like a merchants group up there. And they're trying to work more closely together, you know, with the idea of maybe consolidating, you know, economic development efforts from those groups, consolidate them together. So it was a lunch and learn out at their technology center by the high school. And a couple of people from Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation and myself just presented on different ways that we can assist the community. And I really think that going forward, we'll probably be getting some more contact from Osseo about working on some things together there. So that's good. Just a follow-up to an agenda item from last month, we did end up engaging a photographer that came the following Sunday, actually. We turned it around pretty quick to take some fall tourism pictures. So as I've told some staff people here, we got our money's worth out of him because he worked from about 8:30 until almost 8:30 a.m. until almost 8 p.m. And we really, you know, traversed the whole county here with getting a bunch of different pictures and, you know, some really good stuff that probably some of it I will start using immediately. We did get some pictures out at Soldiers Walk in Arcadia, and with Veterans Day coming up next week, I think there's some opportunity to get some of that out on social media, just reminding people that we have a wonderful tribute to veterans right here in Trempealeau County.
Dave, did you have any pictures taken from
Drone?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we did get some really good drone pictures. Yeah, well, in fact, yeah, we got some awesome drone pictures, because you know how it is. It's like, unless you get up to elevation, some of the things are just kind of lost, and so, yes, there's some beautiful aerials, and then he also did some short, probably 10, short videos, drone videos too, where you're kind of like flying into we did some out at Perot, even though, well, I'm not going to say anything else about that, because there's licenses involved with flying in Perot. We actually took off from outside the park, so that was good. Yeah. But yeah, otherwise it's just.
Perfect timing too, because the colors were really
Yes,
beautiful.
that was the primary reason that we went with him over the other one, was because he was able to turn it around and go out that weekend. So, the thing about that is, by the time we got the pictures, well, even by the time we were taking pictures, fall was kind of winding down. So our ability to use those pictures yet this fall, we still have some ability to do that, especially with some nicer weather hanging on here. But the idea is that we're building for the future. So when we come to late summer, and we're starting to promote fall next year, we have a whole stable of pictures. And some of the pictures we got, are not, even though they were taken in the fall, they're not necessarily, pigeonholed as fall pictures. And I'm going to pass this around. This is just an example. This is an ad that actually I've had put together that we're going to put in the Winona Visitors Guide this year. And here, I'll pass one that way too, so that they.
It's good to go to our neighbors, that's good.
But, here's a picture, and this is what we were striving to get, was pictures like this with people enjoying things. So, here's somebody with a kayak, and, here's somebody enjoying one of our dining establishments. And, people take, we kind of getting this picture of people taking pictures of people was kind of a cool opportunity, and it's not, I'm not saying these were the best pictures, but they were, we got a lot of good pictures, but these are the kinds that we're trying to do and show people enjoying, enjoying life, or, enjoying their stay in Trempealeau County. And those pictures are all ones that really, nobody's wearing a heavy winter coat or anything, so those could be spring, those could be sometime in the summer. So those got a lot of shelf life, and we might use some of those, come spring.
Nice.
Yeah.
You did a good job.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
I pulled out, and I was going to try, I pulled out about a half a dozen or about a dozen to, get this ad going. But there's literally hundreds of pictures, and, that we have to choose from. And
Dave, this is Jean. Can you email us that ad?
yes,
How can we?
And the other thing is, who was the photographer you used?
Ben Jones, he's out of Madison.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Oh,
Dave, who owns the pictures then?
We do.
We do?
Yep.
And are they how are you gonna store those or whatever?
They are stored on the county server. It was about a 2-hour download, but there was room on the county server to park them. So.
And then, are they gonna be accessible by the public or?
I'm not quite sure how to answer that. They're ours, and we can use them how we see. I have thought about that, like, well, what if one of the communities, would like to use some of that, like in, some of their stuff and whatever. I honestly, I'll have to go back and look at the contract. That was not my primary concern,
I could
with a
just see
contract was.
People wanting to lift them though, and
Yeah, well, no, nobody can use them without, authorization from us.
Okay.
And I think the thing we're going to have to think about is whether we give authorization or not. My inclination would be to say not unless, there was credit. But I honestly have to look at the contract. My primary concern was that they're owned by us and that we can use them, for our tourism promotion. It wasn't about, doing this so that, every community has imagery because they can do that. This was a specific kind of photo shoot, with getting people pictures and stuff.
What was the geographic distribution of them across the county?
So I ended up taking some pictures in a couple of the communities that we didn't get to. Like, we did not get up to Osseo and Oliva and Strum, I apologize, but we simply ran out of time. And so I went up and took some scenery pictures and plan to supplement that with some, people pictures when I get a chance. But, again, as you look at some of these pictures, and of course, you all know the county very well, so you can look at these pictures and say, this is where these were taken, right? Most of you can, go 3 for 3 on that. But none of it is identifiable. It's not saying, it doesn't have a city name in it or a village name or an establishment name. I mean, does everybody know where that dining picture was taken? See, so that's good, because it could be any one of the dining establishments we have in Trempealeau County. It happens to be Beatles in Centerville, and then the kayak picture is at Perot, and then the other picture is in Trempealeau, right down on the river. So.
I do appreciate his questions about, I know there, if you could, maybe review that contract. I know they're technically Trempealeau counties, but if the contract allows, I think, limited distribution, again, permission with as long as the county's okay, and or the photographer, I think, even though it belongs to Trempealeau County is, the citizens are taxpayers, so technically, in the way, if the contract allows, I think they have access to it too.
And I agree. I agree if it's allowed, we should do that. Because there are some good, like, in Galesville, he got a nice drone video taking off from, like, right in front of the gazebo there and going up where you can then see, the whole downtown and Lake Marinuka there. So it was a beautiful, like, 15, 20-second drone video. And, we might use that, but the city of Galesville or the chamber there might really want to use something like that to help promote. So we'll look into that, and I'll report back at some point in the future. Any other questions?
No, good. I know if some photos are posted on Facebook, it's easy to just copy those, and you just want to make sure that the artist that took the photographs gets credit. I mean, that'll have to be all figured out, I think.
Yeah, well, and frankly, the other thing, so on a basic level, I would say, it's not really a concern of mine if somebody, reposts those or uses
Right.
them. If they were using them to make money for some reason,
Right.
we would have a problem,
Right.
and we probably would have legal taking a look at that.
Okay.
But that is kind of the nature of, if we have a post and we have pictures in it and somebody reshares that, that's kind of what we want them to
Right,
do.
right.
Yeah. But if they use it and they put it out as if it's their own,
Yeah, look at this great
that's a
picture I
problem.
took last Saturday.
And if I see any of these pictures entered at the fair, we will have a problem.
Okay. Future plans for you? Anything going on?
I will not be at the meeting next month. I'm having foot surgery that morning, so you will have to suffice with a written report.
That's fine.
Boy, other than that, we're just finalizing the tourism partnerships for next year. That, like I said, this ad is for the Winona Visitors Guide. And since I just got these pictures, I'm gonna loop back to Explore Lacrosse. Explore Lacrosse and see if we can't sub this ad in for the one that I had previously submitted, because I think this is a vastly superior product than what we had previously submitted to them. So River Travel Media, who is doing the, this year, who's managing that big ARPA contract that we had for destination marketing, the $19,000 contract, they've submitted a proposal to do a skinny down version of, destination marketing effort for next year that would primarily focus on, doing some of the social media that, like they've been doing this year. The proposal they submitted was like, I think, $3,800. And as I look at our budget for next year for marketing, that probably would fit, and I think that would be helpful. I have to review their proposal because I think there's certain things that I may want to do myself and have them do more of something else that would be more in their wheelhouse. But having been here now, 7 months, I can see that there's certain things that they did for us that we could just as easily do ourselves, but that they have particularly good, niche in certain other things. So that's just what I want to try to figure out in the next month or so, but we likely will be bringing that back maybe at the December meeting, maybe in January. The proposal they made was for like April through like August or September, so we have a little time.
Okay, thank you.
Oh.
You have something to say?
And then we probably will do my plan is to do like a winter photo shoot, but we may hold off on that till January, when we have snow and ice and all that
Ice
stuff.
fishing contests and things
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Replacement of parks lawnmower, discussion, possible action. Rita's not here, so Mike is filling in.
Right, this is the information I have. Again, our original quote from D&D, the price with the trade-in, $8,000. Tractor Central, which is John Deere, was $9,569 and change. And the Johnson tractor one was supposed to come in last week. I don't think it came in before Reed left on vacation, but it didn't sound like it was going to be less than $8,000.
With my other job, I don't know if this is appropriate, but I've had a lot of delays with Johnson Tractor and their equipment, so just saying.
So we have essentially, so those were the bids we have. D&D still looks to be the best price.
Mike, are they all apples to apples, though? Right?
As close as possible between brands, yeah.
Are you looking for approval today, Mike, or?
If you're willing to do that, that'd be great.
We were on the verge of approval last month, but then we had him look at other options. Because D&D is where the original one came from, and they've done work on it. And
Can we do that decision today then?
yeah, because it says discussion, possible action.
Well, I guess I'd make a motion to accept that bid then,
The D&D.
D&D bid.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No one? Motion carried. So Reed can buy a new lawnmower.
That's right. That's right.
Plus, they're giving us, are they a trade-in? What?
We're,
what do I-
we're trading in our current
Okay,
lawnmower.
okay. That's what I
And then
remember.
getting a brand-new one.
Right, okay.
Right.
right.
But again, lots of hours on that thing. That thing's running. And again, it's, thanks for the approval on that because, if something breaks down on that and we have to wait on a repair, we get way behind, so.
Wasn't one of the big selling points, the 5-year warranty covers all maintenance.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're good to go for another 5 years.
Great.
And that Husqvarna machine has been, worked really well for us.
Moving
where are we
on to
Yeah.
Oh,
8.
got a comment.
Is this for delivery this year yet or next spring?
Hopefully this year, isn't it?
Well, we don't need it to store it all winter.
I'm not sure on that.
What, Becky?
What budget do you want it out of? This year's or next year's?
This year's.
This year's
This
budget.
year's budget. But I think Bob's question was about delivery and where it should be stored, whether it be stored in cold storage at the park or just wait for it at the business. I think that's something we can figure out when Reed
Yeah,
gets
It'd
back.
be something, I mean, if they're willing to store it,
Yeah.
why have it in a place where there's mice?
Right.
Yeah, when does the warranty start? Upon delivery?
And I know this is supposed to be secure out at that shed, but I know you had an incident with people breaking into stuff out there. You don't want that risk either.
We'll have Reed look into that when he gets back.
Okay, good. Moving on to,
Jeannie, this is Jeannie.
yes?
I can't find in my notes, and I probably wrote it down. Mike, can you tell me the amount of the trade we got for that?
It was $5,000, wasn't it?
$5,000. The price for the machine brand new is $13,000, so subtract 5, that turns out to 8.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? Okay, moving on to number 8, moving the 3 Lake Lot electric pedestals.
We have 2 quotes for moving the pedestals. Again, this is for, just for moving. It's not for installing them at the park, at the campsites that don't have electric. But Post D Excavating, quote, $3,900, and Slobby Electric at $3,200 to dig those out of the ground, pick them up, and get them to the park. So I think we have, in the first 33 campsites, I think there's 5 sites that don't have electric. So if we were going to put those in there, then all of those first 33 campsites in the first 3 rows would have electric. And I think we'd have the ability to put a pedestal at one of the group sites. But that would be additional costs. This is just getting them to the park from down in Trempealeau.
Can we take action on that then too?
Yes, we can.
I think we should go ahead and have them removed yet this fall, since we've had a dry season and we're working in wetlands, but I'll make a motion to accept a low bid on a thing as long as they're removed yet this year.
Okay.
Is there a second to Bob's motion?
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye.
Jeannie, I have a question.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's okay. Mike, can you just tell me again from my notes, 3,900 was for D&D?
It's called, the company's Post D as in dog Excavating.
Okay.
And then the other company is Slobby Electric. And they were,
Okay,
and they were,
thank you.
yep.
Any other questions? Okay. Cloth shelter floor in the kitchen. Discussion, possible action.
As you recall, the Kloss kitchen area was the original part of the Kloss shelter, and for some reason that floor is about 2 inches lower than the outside edge. It's a safety hazard. And we have a donation. We've had a donation to improve buildings at the park. I think that's, Becky may correct me, I think that's $13,000, that donation. So the 2 quotes that we have to remove the concrete or chip it out, remove it, take that old concrete off-site and then replace it even level, so the whole Kloss shelter, there's no tripping hazards. Arcadian concrete at $6,050 and Wegman concrete at $5,700.
Is there any
Buzz?
timing difference? Who can get in there quicker to do it, Mike? Is there a time stamp on this of some sort?
I don't, from my conversations with Reed before he left, it sounded like it could get done this year, but it wasn't for sure. It wasn't.
With both bids,
It's a possibility,
okay.
but I don't think that was, that timing was.
I guess we're just getting near freeze up, maybe.
There's
But-
no bad weather for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
60s, 50s, 70.
I guess I'd make the motion that we move forward with accept the lowest bid then.
Is there a second?
I'll second, but I'd like to add on something that there's no change orders in it, that the price is locked in.
Okay.
Accepted, yeah.
Who was the second? Slabby?
No, Wegman
Oh, Wegman
Concrete
Concrete,
at
okay.
$5,700.
Okay, and that's the one we are looking at? Okay, all in favor? Aye.
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 I have one question.
Okay.
Mike, you said you're gonna remove the concrete and take it off premise. Is there any washouts that we need to address where you could, all that broken up concrete, makes good riprap? Is there any place in the park that we need to, where we might need it just to get away from having washouts? Does Reed know of?
He didn't, we talked about what we needed to do with the concrete, and there really wasn't any issues like that we could utilize it, so. Yep.
Any other questions? Okay. God, we're moving along.
Jeannie, this is Jean.
Yes?
Can you ask, Becky, we have on number 8 for my notes, we have a motion and a second, and then I had discussion. I don't believe that we, made the motion, did we, or yes or no? To carry, or did I miss it in my notes?
The moving the lot pedestals?
No, number 8.
Number 8 is moving the Three Lakes lots electrical pedestals.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got it wrong in my thing for, number 7.
Replacement of the lawnmower?
Yeah, didn't, because I asked a question, and then
Yeah, I
did you
think-
call for a
Yes,
vote after that?
we all
or
said
did I
aye.
miss it?
We all said aye.
I must not be with it today.
Yeah, no, I
Thanks.
have a note on here that Jean did not say anything.
Okay. That's okay. It's that kind of day. Any other questions, Jean?
No,
Don't be
I'm
af-
good, thank.
Don't be afraid to speak up. Okay, God, I just lost this. Snowmobile. Trail agreement. That's you still, right? You're busy today.
Yeah, I am far but a expert on this, but someone else in the room may be.
Becky is a genius on it.
This is the Trempealeau County Snowmobile Trail Agreement. I believe it's the standard agreement we have the committee sign each year. Becky, do you want to say anything more on this?
The agreement has not changed at all. We actually just went through it with the council again, and the only thing that's been updated with it is the year. So it just stays with the same agreement that the county's had with them since the beginning.
Now we just pray for a snowy winter.
We could use it for the
Remember
tourism.
when I said that at a meeting, and that's when we had, 55 inches of snow?
55 inches.
And the grader couldn't even work because the snow was
It
too
couldn't. Yeah, we couldn't even
So,
get up that hill by Independence.
Let's have some nice, perfect snow. Is there a motion to accept this snowmobile trail agreement?
So
Motion.
moved.
Okay, Jean, moved by Bob, seconded by Jean, or Audie, because we have two Bobs here. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
oppose? Okay.
And I will pass this around if committee members can sign and date it. There isn't a line for a date, but please
Okay.
date it.
All right, and now we are looking at Parks and Environmental Specialist update. Is that you?
Yeah, I'm trying to
This is
find
the Mike meeting.
his notes today. Okay, just, so far, one person has used the fall special so far. Several other people have had lengthy stays for hunting at the park. The heater update, Reed spoke with Aona's Heating and Air, and they are hoping to get their heater installed this fall yet. He has to coordinate with the fuel company to have the tank and heating unit installed at the same time on the same day for pressure tests, etc. We'll be working to coordinate on this. Water is shut off at the campground, the dump station, and the claw shelter. Hoping to keep the bathroom shower house open till Thanksgiving to get through the gun deer season.
That was a 0. Just,
This will be weather dependent.
we'll be dead by then.
The Trempealeau lots lease agreements ended yesterday. So all the renters should be gone when Reed gets back. He'll go down there and check. I think last time he was down there, there was 2 campers left on those lots, so. That's it.
Okay. I'm going to toss this over to Becky, I think. Review of the Parks 2022 budget.
All right, so I sent over to you guys an update, and it's titled the August 31st budget, or paid through August 31st. We don't have the confirmed numbers for September at this point. Maybe I printed the wrong one, which is possible. Okay, so you guys should have all got the electronic copies of everything that was sent over to you. Everything with the budget is actually on, it's very smooth, everything's on task, I'm not seeing any issues with it. All of our spending is under control. We're actually gonna be a lot left over again this year if we don't spend more, but I don't see any problems going forward. Does anybody else have any problems with it or questions? Anything to do with the budget, any of the line items, spending?
And it sailed through budget hearings?
We don't know yet. So when does the county board vote on
10th.
this? The 10th of this month,
Next
right?
Thursday.
Okay, but in that meeting, you guys can make changes?
Possibly, yeah. It doesn't happen very often, though, but yeah, it could happen.
So it's
But I
once
mean,
the,
during the hearings, did you get a lot of questions or concerns about the budget, or?
well, we did. We had a couple where we had to do some give and take. Increasing the revenue line really did help a lot. So with that, we were able to have a neutral budget, but then go down the 1%. Mix that with the economic development budgets. I think we met their expectations. We've been averaging about 24,000 for revenue for the campsites roughly, and we've been pretty consistent with that the past 4 years. So we've increased the revenue line to, I believe, 20,000 or 22,000 for that line, and that really did help because it was at 13,000.
Okay.
And then, what else did we do? We dropped one of the accounts. Let me just double check it here. Oh, we combined. So we have the repair and maintenance count, the 240, the parks improvement, the 244, the building maintenance, 247, and the repair and maintenance supplies, 350. Those are all really, really similar accounts. So one of the things that they requested going forward was that we just combine those
Okay.
accounts into one, and then we overall decreased the amount from those accounts.
Okay.
So, because one of them's 9,000, the other one's
Right.
5,000. So we weren't spending all of that. There's actually a couple of accounts, like the building maintenance. We haven't spent anything from that. So if we're not utilizing it, and if it's a duplicate account per se, the best thing to do was to combine it.
Okay. And those
So-
are all non-lapsing.
Yep, it's all non-lapsing.
Yeah.
So the park budget did decrease a little bit in that aspect, but with the offset of the revenue, I'm not really concerned about any of it. As far as the economic development budget, that one, we really didn't see any change with that one per se. So far, I mean, we've spent close to a quarter of the marketing budget. That does not include some of the stuff that Dave just recently put through this past month. We've actually done some bigger spending this past month with, oh goodness, who was the last, Dave, who was the last person that we just spent your last?
Might have been Winona.
I think it was Winona, actually, yeah. The photographer was 1,000, so that came out of there. So we've actually spent quite a bit more out of the marketing budget this past month, and that's not going to show in the report I sent you guys yet because it's
Right,
not
right.
confirmed with Paul.
And then, yeah.
So
Right, and then there's an expense too for The Fall Tourism Conference.
Yes, that one, that's what I was thinking. But still not even close to that 14,000, so,
And a lot of that is because we're using the ARPA money
correct.
for
So-
a bulk of our marketing this year.
And because I didn't start spending anything until April.
Right.
And the ARPA funds, we have about 9,000.
I know, we have to gear up for next year.
So the ARPA grant is on task too, there's about like 9,000 left of that.
Okay.
And that includes, we have to take out one more payment from River Travel, so there's probably, got about take another 3,000 off of that, and then we'll be more on task. But as for the rest of it, we're
That's-
still sitting really well.
That River Travel ARPA grant money, that will all get spent, because that was a contract, and then broken out into monthly
Right.
installments, so, and they've been doing the work, so at the end, that'll all zero out.
Yeah.
Okay, good job. Jean, do you have any questions? I know budget's one of your things.
Yeah, I was just gonna let you know that the paperwork will be coming to Dave in regards to doing an ad in the Wisconsin Great River Road Visitor Guide. We'll be printing 55,000. And then I will give you a report with that. I'll email it to you where all of the visitor guides go.
Fantastic, we can spend some more money, yay.
Yay.
That'll be good.
Maybe next month, Jean, we should have you on the agenda to kind of give us an update on what's going on with the Great River Road and what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'll put it together. Yep.
Oh, thank you. The Great River Road was pretty. I was just down there this weekend. Any other questions regarding the budget? Thank you, Becky. I know it's hard to do that, and it's stressful. I appreciate it.
No problem. I don't have a problem doing it. If you guys want budget updates, or if anybody has a question in regards to any of the spending, don't be afraid to call me, stop by the office. I can pull it up. I keep pretty good tabs on everything, so.
Okay.
Even if it's just adding in a couple expenditures quickly, we can figure it out, so.
Okay. I don't think we need monthly budget reports because it changes and you don't always have
It's
all
just
the information with grants and all of that, but if you just.
that and the confirmed is a month behind, so
Right,
it's kind
right,
of,
like quarterly or whatever.
which is totally fine.
Whenever we need it. Good job. No questions? Okay. Citizen appointment to the committee. I always thought we had 3 citizen members on this committee.
We do.
Who?
Buzz, Bob, and Jean.
Oh, Jean, God, I keep thinking Jean is like a county employee. Okay, so we do have 3.
And I believe they're alternated, the terms are
Staggered
staggered.
times. Is somebody due to be ending?
Bob's position is due up in December.
Okay.
Question is Bob interested in staying on?
Yes, I would be.
Okay. Do you want us to just make,
It should be a committee recommendation,
Okay.
I think.
Like it.
Because it's an appointment by the county board chair,
okay.
Okay.
so that would,
And we would do it at the December meeting, I believe.
right.
Yeah, but I think we should have to make a motion in committee to recommend.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right. And then we would communicate that to the chair, and then the chair would make his appointment.
Right. And I have not had anybody else from the world of Trempealeau County say they would like to be a citizen member.
I think Rob brings an incredibly valuable perspective with your relationship with the county sportsmen's clubs and all the work they do, and your interest in Petrick Park has been phenomenally good over the years, so. I would-
History, you bring history, because I can always
Well-
look at you and say, what did we do 10 years ago where we hardly brought any income into the park? So hearing how much it's increased is really good. So is there a motion to nominate Bob to a this would be your second term? Third term?
Third or fourth.
Because you always come to meetings anyway, regardless, so.
I'll make a motion to recommend him to the county board chair / county board.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Do we know when, who's the next citizen that,
I'd have to look that up.
okay, all right, we can talk about that later.
How long are the terms for? Are they 2 or 3 years?
I want to say, my gut tells me 3.
I think it is 3.
Yeah, I think I just got back on, so it'd be Jean then.
Okay. 3 years. And maybe just talking about committees, maybe you could give us update once you go to the committee that you just got appointed to for 7 years.
Yeah, when it's appropriate, I'll be glad to do that.
Okay, just let me know and we'll get you on the agenda.
Okay. What?
We just updated you, right?
Right.
Was it last year?
I don't know, it was a late thing, it kind of fell through the cracks and then it came back. I think it was just last year, or
Okay.
maybe even
Yeah, it
this
was,
year.
I think it was when Beth was chair of this committee, so it might have been
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah, it would have been last year when Beth was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and I had I had just thrown out there putting public comment at the end. I don't know if people want it to be there. My thought was if people are listening, because we're popular on the TV station. It's a committee that's watched, so I'm not married to having it at the end. If people prefer it at the beginning, I don't know what your thoughts are. You and I kind of emailed about it. Okay, so we're open for public comment right now. The number is 715-538-1770. If anybody out there has any questions or issues they would like to bring up, please feel free to call in. I will wait 3 minutes.
You'll have to run over to the phone there, Rain.
Yeah.
Does
Are
the
there-
guest have anything to tell us about?
You're so quiet today. I have a cold. I took a COVID test before I came here because I wasn't going to come if I tested positive, but somewhere along the line, I picked up a cold. Do you have a comment?
I do.
Oh, great.
Comment?
Yeah. You can go up to the mic up
Oh, we're
there.
gonna go way up there?
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't have to.
That's okay. Okay, I just wanted to bring to your guys' attention that, and potentially a future business item here, is that the silent auction for the youth education, the conservation youth education program through Land and Water is happening again this year. I know previous years PTED had donated a couple different things, so I just wanted to bring it to your attention. I just got an email here about a week ago saying that silent auction items are kind of being seeked for right now, so I figured I would bring it up and see if maybe that could be one of your future business items. So
Okay, my husband and I did one last year. It was
Yes.
really fun. So, but it was like March we had to have, it's
Yeah.
March?
So the meeting that's going to be at, or the conference, is in March. But they want I would say we'll probably want the basket or item by early February,
Okay.
just so then we can get it to
Okay.
Land and Water and get it all organized. So, yeah, just wanted to bring that up for you guys. So,
Okay, Becky, you were kind of managing that last year?
I wouldn't say managing.
No, but, I mean, I dropped my basket off on your desk.
No, I worked with Haley on it last year, and gosh, was it just us two? Who else was there? I don't remember.
no, I think it was just us.
Okay, yeah, I think Haley and I worked on it together, and just more or less
Okay,
worked through it.
so maybe we can, I don't know if the committee, we can put it on the agenda for next month, but if we want to do a basket from this group, or you can also do them individually. It was fun shopping it was all s'mores stuff, I think I did last year.
I know, Buzz, you donated too, because we got that floppy crappie and
Yeah, I got some flipping coffee.
honey and,
Honey and syrup.
yep. That was awesome.
It's good to support those kids.
What is this, what was that for? I missed that. This is my first year on a committee, so I'm not up.
Yeah, so.
Identify yourself.
I'm Haley Passo. I'm with Department of Land Management, the Conservation Engineering Specialist. So the silent auction is for the Wisconsin Land and Water, and it goes through the youth education program. So the funding that is received from that silent auction, which is usually bid on by other conservation staff throughout the whole state, goes to funding youth education for conservation throughout the whole state then. That includes like Envirothon, which is put on as a state program, the summer youth camps for middle and high school students, the poster speaking contest, which is also coming up.
Yeah, when is that?
That is January for our Trempealeau County one.
Okay.
So, yep, that is also in
A
the
lot
works as
going
well.
on.
So, yes. And so we look for different businesses to donate, so I'm sending out different letters. I know that different committee members have donated items. We can, as a department, donate items as well through our youth education funding source, and go from there. So we're just looking for different areas and different kind of people to donate throughout. So if you have an idea for a themed one, we can do a themed basket. We can just do kind of something local is usually what we look for, something related to Trempealeau County.
And how much does the money pretty much stay here?
It's a
Or-
statewide program.
So we feed it to the state and then they feed it back to us? Or
So it all stays in the state, but we send kids from our area to participate in the state programs.
that's a good thing.
Yeah,
And wait till you see the kids come with their speech.
yes.
They're
we-
really sometimes just like,
Yep, and we're having that speaking contest, I believe it is January 5th maybe, or 7th? Don't quote me on that, it's something around that date, so.
The youth speaking contest, if you haven't seen any of the speeches from last year, the kids do a lot of research, and it seems like a lot of them referenced none other than Reed Lally.
Yes.
It was so they for a youth to reach out to a professional, you know, that's not easy for a youth to do that, and they asked some really good questions.
Most
So
definitely.
I was, one of the things I was really impressed with the amount of research they do on a topic.
and they usually come and do their speech for us at the county board, at a county board meeting.
Yep, or
And
we
they're
have
so
like a
brave
recording.
and they're so
Yeah.
strong and, committed to what they've chosen to talk
Yes.
about.
Do the speech right up from that platform.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was really exciting. Last year we had, I believe it was 3 contestants last year from Trempealeau County, and we've had a contestant, I think, for, oh gosh, at least the last 10 years, and a lot of counties can't say that. So I think it's really exciting, so we're
We're
trying
the
to.
best.
Yeah, we are. So we're just trying to support that program and keep it going, so.
I
But
know.
just keep it in mind if you have even, a friend or relative or any businesses that you're involved in, maybe they would be willing to donate, or just let me know and I can send them a letter as well. It is tax deductible and all of that as well. So if you have questions, just let me know. Stop up to the office, send me an email, call me, whatever works. So.
I
Thanks,
know
Haley.
Yeah.
that with our donation in the last couple of years for more of a park-themed one, Bob has donated a gift card for fuel from his station, and then we combined that with a weekend camping pass, so the person could come and go camping and make sure they can fuel up on the way home, and it kind of created, I think we also had a gift certificate for someplace to eat as well in the county, so they had a whole experience. That was one of the ones that we had done in the past, so if you guys wanted to keep that in mind for when we talk about this next time, that's another option.
And you can throw in a coffee cake from Bushy's to go with the weekend camping.
Any other questions? I know I kind of threw that at
No,
you.
that's great. Thank you for
Yeah.
getting us on board.
Multiple feeding baskets then from the county?
Yeah, so it depends on how many donations we get. Last year, I believe we had 3 or 4 different kind of themed baskets. One was the park, one was a s'mores one. I think we had a artesian one where the Beaches Corner artisans, in the old schoolhouse.
schoolhouse, yeah.
They donated a whole bunch of different, handmade products from Trempealeau County. And I think we had a northern Trempealeau County one where it was, the Northwoods beer that Buzz brought and honey from the area, and I think we got a Norskino gift card as well, so kind of the northern part. So we try to bring, it also is a great economic development and tourism ploy as well, trying to get more people here to the county, so we're trying to bring them here as well, so.
You should have come to our meeting last Thursday. We forgot to talk about Bushy's coffee cakes. Add that to our list of reasons to come to Trempealeau County. You had to be there.
I wasn't there when you talked about that.
Bob?
I got one question since we're waiting for public comment, that online reservations at the park, is that up and running and how is it going?
It's been up and running since about August 30th, and it's been running well. And we've had a hybrid situation in 2022 where it was people could still pay at the post. That there were some challenges and a little bit, but we didn't feel like we could flip the switch mid-season. But it's been going well. There's so many things we can do with that, with specials and promotions and marketing. We're going to integrate that into our marketing campaign for next year. And the plan is, for 2023, everything will be, all reservations will be online only. And it's been especially good for the marks at the park when they're trying to confirm to make sure, see who's at a campsite and if they've had a reservation, because they have a tablet that's connected to Wi-Fi, and so they can just check that out. Reed doesn't have to call them and transcribe things from a paper copy. The marks can just log into that camp spot and see for themselves, and so it's really made operations a lot more efficient and accurate.
We're just got a little time here. I was appointed by County Board Mississippi Regional Planning Commission, and the first meeting was back in October. They meet bi-monthly, so our next one will be in this early December, and they're going through some big changes there. Dave Boniface is retiring in the calendar year. He's the executive director. They have a search committee going right now. And Abby Nicewander, who helped us with our outdoor rec plan, is leaving and going private. She's going to be more of a family person, was her reason. It's a big loss for them. She was an outstanding planner. And so they're going to be going through some growing pains like some organizations do here. And I was a new kid on the block, so I mostly sat and listened. They do a lot of economic development stuff more regionally is kind of one of their, but a lot of transportation planning, emergency government type planning. They were going over a lot of discussion of what Monroe County has done and what Vernon County has entered into to deal with extreme weather events on infrastructure. How each county phrases that term is variable. And Monroe County did call it a climate change impact thing, how they begin to understand, so we get rid of some of the problems associated with our, especially large flooding events was what most of those were focusing on at this time. So good group, big board. Gosh, there must have been almost 30 people in the room. And I think
And you get
it'll be
lunch out of
27,
the,
nine
you get lunch out
counties
of the
that-
deals too. You
What?
get lunch out of the deal at the meetings.
Oh, you
too.
get lunch, yeah, you do get lunch. It is a bit of a drive. We meet down on the north side of La Crosse, but it was kind of nice to get back down, get to drive through the whole county then on my way to the
Oh, you
meeting.
do? And I think George Brandt was also appointed to that committee.
No, he hasn't been.
Oh, they're still waiting?
They must be still waiting.
So where do you guys meet at in
The-
La Crosse?
The American.
What the process is for that position that you're in, the county recommends 2 people for the position,
Okay.
and then the governor selects one of those 2.
Oh, that was not clear when we were
Okay,
discussing
well,
that.
anyhow, it's kind of an interesting process when you get a email from Governor Evers saying you're appointed. I knew something was coming, but that's how I was informed, and so. And,
It's a big loss to not have Abby. She She was right there with us when we were doing the
Oh, she
outdoor
was,
plan.
and she's gonna stay on, I think they're gonna try and hire her 20 hours a week as a private entity
Okay.
for 6 months or something to help in this transition, whoever the new planner would be. So it's really a small organization, 2 planners, executive director, and then Sarah, the woman who kind of runs the whole office, supports staff and gets agendas out and really takes care of those, a lot of details, so.
Okay. Thanks for,
Bud, that's awesome. Congratulations. You're gonna be a huge asset to them.
Well, thank you.
okay, I will end the public comment at 9:30. I think we've thrown out some future agenda items. Are there other agenda items that people would like to talk about next month? Anybody? Nothing? Okay. Our next meeting date is going to be December sometime. Okay. Oh, that's St. Nicholas Day. That's when you really should have Christmas. Put your shoes out on the porch.
We started 8 this morning?
8:30.
Oh, that seemed like you're a long ways into the agenda by the time I watched it. Okay, thank you.
I don't think you missed much.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, everyone. The meeting is adjourned at 9:31. This is a short meeting.
That's good.